Imagine your phone rings. The voice on the other end sounds like someone you love. They are panicking. They are crying. They say they have been in an accident, or arrested, or kidnapped. And then they say the words that make everything else disappear. I need money. Please don't tell anyone. For a few seconds, you are not thinking about scams. You are thinking about your child, your grandchild, your family. And that is exactly why this scam works. In Arizona, a mother named Jennifer DeStefano received a phone call that sounded like every parent's worst nightmare. Her daughter was away on a ski trip. So when an unfamiliar number called, she almost ignored it. But then she answered.
I will never be able to shake that voice and the desperate cries for help out of my mind.
On the line, she believed she heard her daughter crying. Then a man took over the call and claimed he had her daughter. He threatened her, and he demanded money. But there was one problem. Her daughter had not been kidnapped. She was safe. DeStefano later testified before the U.S. Senate, warning that artificial intelligence had made it possible to create doubt around something families used to trust completely: the sound of a loved one's voice. In this case, the call targeted a mother. But the same trick is now being used in one of the oldest family scams in America: the Grandparent Scam. The story changes. Sometimes it is a daughter, sometimes it is a grandson, sometimes it is a lawyer or police officer on the line. But the emotional formula is always the same. Someone you love is in trouble. There is no time to think, and you need to send money now.
My phone rang. It was my son. He was crying. He said, "Dad, I was in an accident. You have to get me out of here. Help me." I said, "Brett, I'll call him and I'll call you right back." He said, "You can't. They took my phone."
The old version of this scam was already cruel. A caller pretends to be a grandchild. They say they are in jail, in a car accident, or in danger. Then another person joins the call, pretending to be a lawyer, police officer, or bail agent. The new version adds something more powerful: artificial intelligence.
And voice clones can mimic the voice of a loved one.
According to the FTC, scammers can use AI to clone a person's voice from a small sample of real audio. That cloned voice can then be used on a phone call to make the emergency feel real.
Getting worse, and we have AI to thank for that. Through the use of readily available AI voice cloning technology, a scammer using a recording of the grandchild or child's voice obtained from YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, or voicemail can create a call to the grandparent that sounds exactly like the grandchild.
Where does the voice sample come from? Sometimes from social media, sometimes from videos, sometimes from public clips. And sometimes the scam does not even need to be perfect. It only needs to be convincing for a few seconds. Older Americans are often targeted because this scam attacks something deeply human. It does not attack greed. It attacks love. A grandparent hears a voice that sounds like their grandchild. The caller sounds scared. The situation feels urgent. And the scammer usually adds one more instruction: don't tell anyone. That one sentence is important because the moment the victim calls another family member, the scam can fall apart. So the scammer creates pressure, isolation, and fear all at once. And this is not just one strange phone call. In 2025, the U.S. Justice Department announced charges against 25 Canadian nationals connected to a nationwide grandparent scam. According to prosecutors, elderly victims were targeted in Vermont and more than 40 other states. Callers allegedly posed as relatives, lawyers, or other people involved in a fake emergency. Their goal was simple: convince victims that a loved one was in trouble and get money fast. This is the bigger pattern. The story changes, the technology changes, but the emotional formula stays the same. Someone you love is in danger. There is no time. Do not tell anyone. Send money now. AI does not need to create a perfect Hollywood deep fake to be dangerous. It only has to create enough familiarity to break your normal defenses. A few seconds of a panicked voice can be enough. Because in a crisis, people do not analyze audio like a forensic expert. They react. And scammers know this. They do not give you time to think. They do not want you to hang up. They do not want you to verify. They want you emotionally trapped before your rational brain catches up. The good news is that this scam has a weakness: verification. The FTC recommends resisting the pressure to act immediately and contacting the family member directly using a phone number you know is real. If you cannot reach them, call another family member. Do not use the number the caller gives you. Another simple protection is a family safe word. CBS reported that family safe words can help families verify whether a caller is really who they claim to be.
What I encourage folks to do, and this is a very low-tech way of addressing the issue, is doing a password among your friends and family and making sure that you're not publicizing that password or putting it in an email, because hackers will be able to get access to that.
Hang up the phone, call the loved one back on their actual number, and you can verify their safety that way. The Attorney General says families may also want to actually just come up with a code word.
The safe word should be something private, not a pet's name from Facebook, not a birthday, not something visible online. Something only the family knows. If you get a call like this, stop. Even if the voice sounds real, hang up, call the person directly, call another family member. And if money has already been sent, contact the bank immediately. You can also report scams to the FTC and to the FBI's Internet Crime Complaint Center. The FBI says elder fraud is still rising. In 2025, people aged 60 and older filed more than 201,000 complaints with the FBI's Internet Crime Complaint Center. Reported losses totaled more than $7.7 billion. That was a 37% increase in complaints and a 59% increase in reported losses compared with 2024. The most frightening thing about this scam is not just the technology. It is that it turns love into a weapon, a voice that sounds familiar, a story that feels urgent, a few seconds of panic. That is all it can take. So if you remember one thing from this video, remember this: a real emergency can survive a verification call. A scam usually cannot.